You seen the title. Let's get into it.
I can't even trust my own mama, so I'm riding around town with the llama. Bitch, we about to drama. I can't even trust my own mama, so I'm riding around town with the llama. Bitch, we about to drama. Drop the addy, I'ma put love. Bitch, drop the addy, I'ma put love. Bitch, we about to drama. Drop the addy,
Yo,
I'ma
yo,
put love.
yo.
Bitch, drop the addy,
What it
I'ma
do
put
is the
love.
most
Bitch, we
valuable
about to
podcast. I'm your host with the most, coming straight from the West Coast. It's your boy Cinco Bands the man, trying to get 100 grand. You know I got the plan. I'm back, y'all. I'm back. I'm back. I'm back. I had to get some stuff right. I was working on my health. You know what I'm saying? I'm working on trying to get my body right, coming up with regiments and all this stuff. You know what I'm saying? But you know what we here for, y'all. Y'all seen the title. It's real. We about to we about to go right into it. You know what I'm saying? Hey, I just want to say this. Live righteously. Live righteously. Streets is over. If you getting some money in the streets, get in, get out. You know what I'm talking about? Don't do nothing too vicious. But if you in the streets doing some fuck shit, robbing people, sticking people up, killing people, doing all this fuck shit, this is what's gonna be your future coming up, bro. This is what the United States of America has in store for you. You know what I'm saying? But we're gonna go we're gonna go into this first. Let's go into this cuff boy first. You know what I'm saying? Hey, if it's your first time to the channel, welcome. Welcome. Like, subscribe, hit that bell notification. Big bands 5 times at Instagram. To hell with the gang at the Cash App. Hit the Cash App. Yes, sir. Cinco Bands the man on Twitch. Shout out to all my Twitchers. You know how we do it. Yes, sir. We be twitching. You dig? Without further ado, let's get right into it. Mr. Board.
Mr. Henry, I'm not quite sure how you managed to do this, but
The judge is even shocked. Like, how the this guy was facing 5 life sentences.
I guess at some point after the fact, the state wants to take a proffer from you or have a discussion with you, ask you some questions about whatever that may be.
I mean, they gotta know that he's gonna testify, right? That's the only way this works. The state wants a proffer.
Yeah.
The peace sign at the camera. Bro's like, hey, see ya, Melly? You're cooked, but I'm out. Wine v. Portland just took a no contest plea that changes everything for Melly's trial. Today, he has to give the state a proffer. And in Melly's trial, he will testify and be asked, quote unquote, a couple questions. Portland just got the greatest plea deal of all time. The state doesn't care about him, they only care about Melly. They didn't want to go to trial separately and show the strategy to Melly's lawyers. I got destroyed over the weekend for saying he was going to take this plea and testify, and that's what's happening. Holy shit, here we go. Will he take the plea?
Hey, listen. Listen. This is very important. Melly is cooked. Melly is cooked. You understand what I'm saying to you? He had the hung juries. They said, we're not finna give it a chance to have another hung jury. We're not even finna give it a chance, not a second guess, nothing. What we're gonna do is we're gonna work on Bortland. We're gonna work on him and work on him and work on him and work on him. Put him in the harshest conditions. Let him work on him and see if he budge. The man facing 4 life sentences plus 75 years. We're gonna see if he budge. And guess what? Sitting in that cell, ladies and gentlemen, sitting in that dark cell, eating that shitty food, sleeping on that hard bed, getting treated like trash from the staff. He been in there a couple years. Melly been in there about several, something like that. I'm not saying what he's doing is how do you say that? Politically correct for the streets rules, right? For the streets rules, he's all the way out of line, right? But who the hell is going off of streets rules in 2025? You have to be an idiot to be going off of street rules in 2025. There's way too much technology, there's way too much information going around. Okay? So I just want y'all to know this. The only thing that can save Melly right now, I'm gonna say this and we're gonna get right back to it. The only thing that can save Melly right now. I hope you people are out there looking and watching this, even though I know y'all ain't too hip on my videos like that, but it's your boy Cinco Bands the Man. Like, share, and follow. But the only thing that could get Melly out of this is those 12 jurors. Not gonna lie to you. It's those 12 jurors. This one right here, they were making sure this is a heavyweight bout. Oh, nigga, we bringing out all the stops, right? Because the first trials, they seen all the evidence. It was a hung jury. That means they got to come forth with new evidence if they want to win. They have to come forth with new evidence. And what is that new evidence? What is the best evidence? Co-defendant. A co-defendant. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a prime example of why you should not be living by street codes in 2025. You should not be a regular citizen. Figure out we got way too much going on within our own government. Systematic racism. We got way too much going on for you guys to be distracted with street politics. I'm gonna need you guys to wake up. I got plenty of friends out there that still sleep, and they sad that I'm not sleep with them anymore. Pause. Feel me? But I'm gonna need y'all to wake up, man. I'm gonna need y'all to wake up. But let's get back to it. I ain't gonna talk your ear off. Let's get back to it.
He's got to, right, bro? 16 years. He's got to do it. He's facing 5 life sentences. He's going to do it. I've been thinking about it the whole weekend. He's been thinking about it the whole weekend. He's taking this plea. Look at him. He about to take
Look
this
at his
plea.
face.
This lawyer's like, you sure? You taking it, right? There's Portland's lawyer, Haddad. Why am I getting the vibe that he's taking this plea like it's already happening?
Man, that plea already
By the way,
taken.
the state did not want to go to trial on this week. I
Plea
don't
is
think they were
already
even prepared to. So
They did.
they're probably offering him this just because of.
They did not want to go to trial. This was their only option, and this nigga bit. This was their only option. This right here was their only option, and the nigga bit. He bit. But I mean, I hope he changed his life after this. I really do. There's still a chance for Melly. It's in boxing. Okay, when you're a boxer in boxing, they call it a puncher's chance, right? He still has a puncher's chance that the jury will come back in his favor. But man, I'm gonna tell you like this: it's more than 80% that they're gonna come back against him for the simple fact they have Bortland, and in his plea is saying that he has to come testify. You think they're not gonna make him testify? You think they're gonna let him just dodge 4 life sentences plus 75 years and just give him 16 years and that's it? Really 10 years inside, 6 years on probation? You think they're gonna do that? I don't think they're gonna do that. You gotta fork over some information. We need you. We need you, Bortland, to say that when you were in that car, you witnessed him take those lives. That's what they need. You witnessed it. That's what they need. This was they going for, y'all. I guarantee them couple questions that they asked this man when this trial happens, we're gonna cover the trial. When this trial happens, because we're covering this trial. We don't normally cover negativity, guys, and we don't look at this as negativity. I'm using this as a positive message in reverse to show you guys we should not be living by street rules in 2025. Give that shit up. Just give it up, man. If you in the streets hustling, trying to make some money, trying to feed your family, that's fine. That don't make you a street nigga just because you're intertwining in the streets real quick, dibbling, dabbling, and getting out of there. That don't make you a street nigga. It's the ones that's implanted on the block. Never go anywhere. Go to jail, come out just to come back to that block. 50 years old, been on this block since he was 13. This type of never seen another country. It just listen, it just start being cool to leave the country within the last 6 years. These niggas ain't did nothing. I ain't seen no pictures about leaving the country, vacation here, vacation there before Corona hit. So 6 years ago, it wasn't none of this. Now everybody want to leave the country. I'm glad you guys broaden your horizon like that. I'm glad you want to see different heritages, different cultures. I'm glad. But I'm gonna need y'all to wake up from this street politics, street code shit. It's ruining our young, it's ruining our old, it's ruining everybody it touches. And those that it don't ruin, they living in misery. This ain't what you want, people. This ain't what you want. Now, this man fight, they trying to kill Melly. They are trying to give this man the death penalty in Broward County. They are trying to give him the death penalty. Finito, it's a wrap. They trying to do this boy. Listen, I don't know if he did it. I don't know if he didn't. All I know is they don't deserve to kill him. Not them white people, not that judicial system. They don't deserve to kill him. Let's get back to it, man. Y'all let me know in the comments how y'all feel, man. Because imagine this.
For that, by the way. But they also
Yeah.
just only want Melly. They don't give a shit about Borland. I don't see him not taking it. It's too good of a deal.
Matter of fact,
Three hot
hold on.
games. Dating a celebrity is very hard. 21 hopeful queens.
Let the best bitch win.
Let's go. Let's go. I'm tired of all these middlemen. We going live straight to the footage that was posted. The footage he watching on that video, we finna go to it live. See, the thing be about these, you know, a lot of these journalists, they go off of everybody else's stuff because they don't want to do their own research. And sometimes it's convenient. It is. But because you gotta literally go through things and know where to look and all that stuff. So, but just so happened, I know where to look. I did my homework. Let's go. You know I do this shit for y'all, man. I do this shit for y'all, man. It's your boy Cinco Bez the Man. This is the most valuable podcast. Hit that like, hit that subscribe. Hit me on Instagram, Big Bands 5 times. Hit me on Twitch, Cinco Bez the Man. Hit the Cash App. Word to Dr. Umar. The hell with the game. Hit the Cash App. Boom. I know where to look, my boy. We going right to that plea. We going right to him. Stop playing. Did we go right to him or did we go right to him?
0643 CF 10A. I've got Ms. Collins, Mr. Griffiths present for the state. I've got Mr. Haddad, Mr. Nascimento present for Mr. Henry, who likewise is present. So I had set this afternoon for the deadline as to whether or not Mr. Henry wanted to accept the state's offer or not. We're set to go with jury selection tomorrow morning. So Mr. Haddad or Mr. Nascimento, we're going forward with a change of plea this afternoon. And state, is it the same terms that you discussed previously? Is there anything different?
No, Your Honor, that has changed. It's correctly reflected on the plea forms.
So the preforms to me look like on the 19 case as to the 2 counts of accessory after the fact, as well as to all 4 counts in the 23 case. These are going to be adjudications, 10 years Florida State Prison, followed by, that's a 6 years probation?
That's correct, Your Honor.
6 years probation.
10
Counts will run
years
concurrently, all
state
sentences
prison,
run
6
concurrently with
years
one another.
probation.
And it looks like there's no restitution in the 23 case. In the 19 case, I'm reserving restitution and ordering it payable. That's going to be to Terry Bagley as well as Ashley Phillips.
Yes, Your Honor.
So now I'll have to
We've spoken to them and they don't anticipate there being any restitution, just because it's caution.
Okay. Okay, well, I'll give you 120 days to tell me an amount.
I know he ain't in there talking.
They are
Shut your
present,
ass up.
So our region advocate hasn't
Take your time and get on.
Okay.
What is you trying to speak for?
All right, and state, is that the complete terms? That's it?
It's also going to be giving it to proffer, Your Honor, at a later time.
Well, is that part of the negotiated
Yes.
resolution?
It is.
So tell me how that works. Sure. Sure, come on up. Madam Clerk, Board of Business not on.
We gonna fast forward some.
Capital offenses, the maximum and mandatory penalty is life in Florida State Prison. Counts 3 and 4 are accessory after the fact to murder in the first degree. Those are each first degree felonies. The maximum penalty is 30 years in Florida State Prison.
Mm.
In case number 23-10643, CF10A, you're charged with count 1, tampering with a witness in a capital felony. That is
Life.
punishable by life in Florida State Prison. Count 2, directing the activities of a criminal gang. That's a first degree felony. Again, punishable up to life in Florida State Prison.
Praise.
Count 5 is conspiracy to commit tampering. Again, as it relates to a first degree murder charge, that is punishable by a maximum penalty of life in Florida State Prison. And count 7, unlawful use of a two-way communication device. As charged, that's a second degree felony. The maximum penalty is 15 years in Florida State Prison. So, sir, again,
I hope y'all hear that. If you help somebody after they kill somebody, you could get life in prison. If you tell somebody don't snitch on the homie and he's in there for murder, you could get life in prison. If you try to erase text messages or emails, you could get life in prison. You see how they playing, guys? You see how they playing? They got dirty tactics for the street codes. Dirty tactics, man. We need to build more intelligent, strong men and
For
women
the
in this
agreement you
world.
made with the state, before the deal you made with the state, your maximum exposure here was life in Florida State Prison, followed by life in Florida State Prison, followed by life in Florida State Prison, followed by life in Florida State, followed by life in Florida State Prison, followed by 75 years in Florida State Prison. Sir, do you understand all the pending charges and the max?
Do y'all hear that? He was going up against life in prison, followed by life in prison. That means after you die, nigga, come back, you gotta die again. And after you die, you gotta come back and you gotta die again. And then after you die, you gotta come back and you gotta die again. And then you gotta come do 75 years after that. You hear this? That's called buried. They will bury you under the jail. We call that washed up, like laundry, washed up. They was trying to wash them up. So what would you do? Would you get washed up, or would you take 16? Let me know in the comments how y'all feel. You know what I'm talking about? We gonna keep watching this.
Maximum possible penalties involved. And it's my understanding that you want to resolve both cases today. Is that correct? And that resolution is an agreement you've reached with the state, the terms of which are as follows. Number one, in the 19 case, you're going to plead no contest to both counts of accessory after the fact. In the 23 case, you're going to plead no contest to all 4 counts as charged. In exchange for that, the state is going to null process, that is, drop the 2 first-degree murder counts. All right, I'm going to adjudicate you guilty. Yes, sir.
So, question: what on earth would make a district attorney drop murder charges off of you? Let's think for a second. What in your deal? What would you have to say for them to take these life sentences off of you? 4 of them. What would you have to say? Would you have to go in there? Forgive me, I fuck with Rollo. And make it juicy? Would you have to go in there and make it juicy for them? Or would you just try to fadangle? I don't know. I don't know. Listen, he is in a tangle. That's why you don't do fuck shit. That's why I ask the Lord to forgive me for every fuck shit I've ever done. You hear me? I have repented. Now, if any fuck shit happens, it's the Lord's will. You understand me? Let's get back to this. I have a family to protect, and that's all I'm concerned with. This street shit can kiss my
What's
ass.
happening with that?
That would be no problem.
So he's only going to plead to the tampering with a witness in a capital felony, conspiracy to commit tampering, and unlawful use of a two-way communication device?
Tampering and unlawful use.
Just count 1 and count 7.
Correct.
State, you're going to null process count 2 and count 5,
Correct, Your Honor.
as it relates only to Mr. Henry.
Correct.
Okay. So, Mr. Henry, what it's going to be is 2 counts of accessory after the fact, tampering with a witness in a capital felony, and unlawful use of a two-way communication device. In exchange for that, I'm going to adjudicate you guilty on the 2 accessory counts as well as the tampering count. I'm going to sentence you to 10 years in Florida State Prison. That will be followed by 6 years of reporting probation. In the unlawful use of a two-way communication device, that's a second-degree felony. The maximum exposure.
It's a third degree, Your Honor.
It's a second as charged, I believe. It's a third, except as it relates to a capital case. But I'm happy to
Our
look it up.
has it as a third, that's what we discussed, so.
Well, what did you want the negotiated sentence to be for that?
That was just going to be the maximum time served.
5 years? Is that what you want me to do?
Look,
Correct,
look,
Your Honor.
look. The judge was about to give him more time than 16 years. The judge was about to give him additional time for that other case. The DA had to step in and say, hold on, hold on, hold on. He doing us a favor. We promised him 16. We want 16 to be the maximum. So however you got to do that, Your Honor, go ahead and switch that up and make sure it adds up to 16. Yeah, that's crazy. Bruh, he gonna make it juicy for him, man. He gonna make it juicy.
All right, so sir, as to that count, it's going to be an adjudication of 5 years in Florida State Prison. So the two accessory counts as well as the tampering count, those come with 6 years of reporting probation after the Department of Corrections sentence. I'll give you credit for all the time that you've served in both cases. All of those counts will run concurrently. All those sentences will run concurrently. All counts in all cases, that is at the same time with each other. I'm going to have to impose mandatory court costs. I'm going to order restitution
Concurrent?
payable.
Oh, hold up. Concurrent? Guys, do you know what concurrent means? That means he didn't get the 16 years. That means he didn't get the 16 years. That means whichever count holds the most, that's the one he does, and everyone else gets smashed into that one. And his time served goes towards the time in there. So I think it was 10 years minus the 2, carry the 1. He got about 4.5, 4 years, 8 months left. So Borland will be out by 2029. The end of 2029, Borland will be out. Borland will be out. I just calculated his time for him.
Terry Bagley and payable to Ashley Phillips and reserve the amount. I'm going to give the state 120 days to tell me the amount of that restitution. If they fail to do so within 120 days, there will be no restitution. If they come back with an amount and the attorneys agree on the amount, I will impose that as another condition of your sentence to pay back that restitution. If they come back with an amount and the attorneys do not agree on the amount, I will conduct a restitution hearing. Sir, lastly, and I want to make it very clear on the record, and it's unrelated to this negotiated change of plea, I guess at some point after the fact, the state wants to take a proffer from you or have a discussion with you, ask you some questions about whatever that may be. What I want you to understand, sir, is I guess that's part of this negotiated resolution, but your answers to any of those questions, whatever they might be, have no bearing on me and have no bearing on this negotiated resolution. In other words, the deal you've negotiated is the deal you've negotiated, and that's the ball game. Do you understand all that, sir? Have you had enough time to talk to your lawyers about all that? They've answered all your questions? You're sure that that's what you want to do? Because I want to emphasize, Mr. Henry, and I'm going to do this again at the end of my plea colloquy, whether you resolve the case by way of a negotiated plea or an open to me, or you resolve the case by way of a trial, it doesn't matter to me at all. But due to the resources that have been devoted to this case, I have 250 jurors summoned for jury duty starting tomorrow. So I want to be very thorough with you here this afternoon because
It's about to get
if you wake
cracked.
up tomorrow or the next day and you decide you've changed your mind and you want to resolve this case, both cases, by way of a jury trial, that's not going to happen. All right? If you want to have a trial, the trial starts tomorrow. If you want to accept the deal, you can accept the deal today. But there's not going to be any buyer's remorse, in other words, because I've given you plenty of time to think about this, talk to your lawyers about it, talk to your family about it. I talked to you about it last week. It kind of looks like your lawyers probably did something or other to get a better disposition for you as of this afternoon, but this is it today. So understanding all that, you've had enough time to talk to your lawyers about all that, that's what you want to do? So, sir,
He said, yeah.
has anyone forced you, threatened you, or coerced you into entering these pleas? If I accept your plea, there will not be a trial in either one of these cases. Do you understand that? If I accept these pleas, there's a whole bunch of constitutional rights you are giving up. I want to make sure you understand all of those rights. You have the right to maintain your plea of not guilty and have a trial in each case. You have the right to present defenses, to file motions and other pleadings in support of your defense. You have the right to remain silent. You have the right to have the state prove you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. You have the right to confront and cross-examine the witnesses against you. You have the right to appeal any decisions that I may have made up to this point or any rulings I might make in a future trial. But understanding by entering this negotiated resolution today, you are giving up all of those rights. The matter is going to be resolved today, right now, this afternoon. Is that what you want to do? Are you satisfied with your lawyers? Have you had enough time to speak with them? Have they answered all your questions? Are you satisfied with all the work that they have done for you? Sir, I've got two identical plea forms here entitled Plea of Guilty or No Contest to Criminal Charges in Circuit Court. Each one has your name on the top, your initials on the left-hand side, front and back, and your signature on the back. Did you go over both of these forms? Any questions about what's on either of these forms? And is that your signature on the back of each form? Sir, there's a few things that I need to tell everyone that I take a plea from. They may or may not apply to you. If you are not a citizen of the United States, these pleas will result in your deportation. Do you understand that? Under the provisions of the Jimmy Rice Act, if the offenses to which you are pleading are sexually violent or sexually motivated offenses, or if you've been previously convicted of such offenses, then these pleas will subject you to an involuntary civil commitment as a sexually violent predator upon completion of your sentences. Do you understand that? If these are drug offenses, the Department of Motor Vehicles will revoke your driver's license for a period of 1 year. Do you understand that? Sir, paragraph 11 of each form that you sign reads as follows. I acknowledge that my attorney and I have reviewed any discovery disclosed by the state. My attorney and I are unaware of any physical evidence for which DNA may exonerate me. In other words, sir, if there's any physical evidence in the case that we could test for DNA, that DNA evidence would not tell me that you were not one of the people in that vehicle when these crimes occurred. But actually the opposite would be true. If there was any such physical evidence that could be tested for DNA, that DNA evidence would tell me that you were one of the two people that was inside this vehicle when these crimes occurred. Sir, do you agree with that statement? State, do you agree with that statement?
Yes, Your Honor.
Defense, do you agree
Oh,
with that statement? Mr. Henry,
that's the one that got him. That's the one that got him right there. Boom, nail in the coffin. He said he was the one. He said when the DNA comes back, yes, he was the one in the car when these crimes were committed. He was there. Didn't I say this, people? That's all they need him to say. He was there when these crimes were committed.
the back. Did you go over both of these forms? Any questions about what's on either of these forms?
Hold on, I had
And
to
is
back
that
it up
your
a little
signature
bit.
on the back of each form? Sir, there's a few things that I need to tell everyone that I take a plea from. They may or may not apply to you. If you are not a citizen of the United States, these pleas will result in your deportation. Do you understand that? Under the provisions of the Jimmy Rice Act, if the offenses to which you are pleading are sexually violent or sexually motivated offenses, or if you've been previously convicted of such offenses, then these pleas will subject you to an involuntary civil commitment as a sexually violent predator upon completion of your sentences. Do you understand that? If these are drug offenses, the Department of Motor Vehicles will revoke your driver's license for a period of 1 year. Do you understand that? Sir, paragraph 11 of each form that you sign reads as follows. I acknowledge that my attorney and I have reviewed any discovery disclosed by the state. My attorney and I are unaware of any physical evidence for which DNA may exonerate me. In other words, sir, If there's any physical evidence in the case that we could test for DNA, that DNA evidence would not tell me that you were not one of the people in that vehicle when these crimes occurred. But actually the opposite would be true. If there was any such physical evidence that could be tested for DNA, that DNA evidence would tell me that you were one of the two people that was inside this vehicle when these crimes occurred. Sir, do you agree with that statement? State, do you agree with that statement?
Yes, Your Honor.
Defense, do you agree with that statement?
Damn.
Mr. Henry, understanding everything that I have talked to you about up to this point, do you still want to go ahead and resolve both cases today, right now? Defense, is he stipulating to a factual basis for the purpose of each plea in both cases?
Yes.
And if he's entitled to a PSI, defense, are you going to waive that as to each case?
Absolutely.
State, is there anything else that you need me to do before I take his plea?
No, Your Honor.
Okay. So, Mr. Henry, again, two cases. We're going to do one at a time. In case number 19, 1871 CF10A, as to count 3, accessory after the fact to murder in the first degree, and as to count 4, accessory after the fact as to murder in the first degree. How are you going to plead, sir? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest? In case number 23, 10643 CF10A, as to count 1, tampering with a witness in a capital felony, and count 7, unlawful use of a two-way communication device. How are you going to plead, sir? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest? I will accept your no contest pleas as to each. I'm going to find a factual basis to support each based upon my review of each electronic probable cause affidavit as well as your stipulation in court here today. I'm going to further find that you have freely, voluntarily, and intelligently waived your rights, that you have knowingly entered each plea with the advice of competent counsel who told me that you are satisfied with, that you understand the nature of the charges and the consequences of the plea. Accordingly, and pursuant to the negotiated agreement, I will send it to you as follows. In case number 19, 1871 CF10A, as to count 3 and count 4, I will adjudicate you guilty, sentence you to 10 years in Florida State Prison. That will be followed by 6 years of reporting probation. I will impose mandatory court costs. Pursuant to 943.325,
Look, that's just
I will
one
need a set
case.
of your
Watch
prints
me
and
try to send
DNA.
him on the second
Pursuant
case.
to 938.27, I will impose a cost of prosecution of $100. Sir, I'm also ordering restitution in that case payable to Terry, Terri Bagley, Bagley, and Ashley, Ashley Phillips, Phillips, and reserving as to the amount. I'm going to give the state 120 days to tell me the amount of the restitution. If they fail to do so within 120 days, there will be no restitution. If they come back with an amount and the attorneys agree on the amount, I will impose that as another condition of your sentence to pay back. If they come back with an amount and the attorneys do not agree on the amount, I will conduct a restitution hearing. That will conclude that matter. In case number 23, 10643 CF10A, as to count 1 and count 7, I will adjudicate you guilty. Count 7 is a sentence of 5 years in Florida State Prison. Count 1 is a sentence of 10 years in Florida State Prison, followed by 6 years of reporting probation. I will impose mandatory court costs in that case as well. I will not impose the cost of prosecution in that case as I just did so in the previous case. Pursuant to 943.325, I will need another set of your prints and DNA. All of these, there is no restitution in that case. All of these sentences, all counts, both cases, will run concurrently, that is at the same time with each other. I will give you credit for all the time that you have served. State, in 1871 CF10A, your announcement as to counts 1 and 2.
The state will be announcing a null process to those counts, Your Honor.
And in case number 23, 10643 CF10A, state your announcement as to count 2 and count 5.
The state will be announcing a null process to those counts as well.
Okay. I think that concludes all the matters. State, is there anything else that you need me to do regarding Mr. Henry in either case?
Mr. We just have one moment.
So he got 15 plus 6. So he gonna have to go do 11.
I'm looking at the plea forms, the 23 case, they have 707 days credit for time served. In the 19 case, 1,340 days credit for time served.
What? 700. That's 2.5. And 1,000. What?
That's another time I can be
That's
in court for you as well.
So listen, the fee hearing docket is at 3:30 PM, so.
We've already spoken with BSI, I think we're just in an order, we've been here for about a week.
they gonna give him about
Okay.
5 years
I was gonna
credit.
make it available if you wanted to do it now.
I think.
So he gonna have to go
Okay,
do
so they're in charge.
time off the 10.
Yeah.
Anything else, from the defense on behalf of Mr. Henry? All right, Mr. Henry, I'm not quite sure how your lawyers managed to do this, but, I wish you good luck, sir.
Oh, we know how they manage
Yeah,
to do
he'll
it.
be on, Mr. Nesmith and Mr. Haddad. We'll have a probation officer here tomorrow. He'll be on my docket tomorrow morning for the instructions on probation. So, I will sign all the paperwork if you want to stick around for that. We're otherwise going to be in recess, till 3:30 PM. The fee hearing docket starts at 3:30 PM, so I'll be in a recess until then.
Damn, well, you guys heard it, man. Portland took that deal, man. It ain't looking too good for Melly, y'all.